Hey, Denver, I'm Mayor Michael Hancock. Youth gun violence is an issue that has been plaguing our community, so I want to take some time and speak with young people who have been directly impacted by the issue. Today I have with me Destiny, Jeremiah, and Maria. Oftentimes adults want to be the ones who give the answers. Today we're turning to people who are directly working with this issue, who are impacted by the issue, and who may know people who are involved or been injured by gun violence in our community. I'm going to start with you, Destiny, and ask you, with the recent rash of incidents in our community with young people being harmed and killed by gun violence, how are young people feeling in Denver today?
I think that young people are feeling unsafe and scared to go out by themselves because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if they're going to be able to come home, or like they're afraid to let their family members go because they don't know if they're going to come back.
Right. Jeremiah, any thoughts? You agree with that?
I mean, I agree, but, you know, it's all starting from, you know, when you start from having nothing when you're born, like, and it's mostly minorities and blacks and colored and all that, you know, and it's like the area they live in. So, like, in Montbello, you know, they got like not much of an option to get jobs and all that, and so they like get in the streets and do what they do and start getting guns and all that.
Yeah. Maria, thoughts on it?
I think I agree with Destiny also. I feel like a lot of young people go out and get weapons or guns because they feel like that's the only way to protect themselves. If they have a gun, then you need one too. Mm-hmm. And that's where gun violence also comes from, because you got to protect yourself and your people.
Jeremiah, I'm going to come back to you. You mentioned, you know, the access to jobs, opportunity to make a living, take care of your family, improve your economic conditions. When I had some adults who were here, they mentioned a lot of those same social factors. Do you think that we tend to err on addressing gun violence, youth gun violence, after the fact, being more reactive as opposed to proactive in dealing with those social factors?
Yeah.
I mean, just based on what you just said to me, I'm just asking, should be a priority?
Yeah, it should always be a priority because it's lives being lost because of it, you know. And a lot of kids get kicked out of their families and, you know, like stuff like that too. So it makes them hungry for money and all that. And when they try to go do that job and try to do good and it doesn't work out the way they want it to, they see no option but to jump in the streets and get tools and like weapons, guns, yeah, and, you know, be violent with them.
Yeah.
And social media, that's not really, I mean, that's a big reason why, because people just get on there and they're not in person, so they can say whatever they want on there, and they feel hard about that. Mm-hmm. So then when certain people see them in the streets, they're like, oh yeah, I seen him on social media saying this and that, so I'm about to get him about what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. So, you know, stuff like that happens too.
So that's a good segue, Jeremiah. Thank you for going there. Maria, I'm going to start with you. There is a new thought that is forming here that gun violence, gang violence in Denver has evolved, particularly with young people, and that it starts on social media. It's no longer about just colors that identify a gang or territories. It's about beefs that start on social media. Do you agree with that?
I do, but I don't to a certain extent, because still it is about color. Like, you'll be on Facebook, it's all about your color. Somebody puts up a color blue or anything, and it's going to start a problem. But I don't think that the main cause is social media. I don't, because a lot of gang members that I know don't have social media.
For real though, that's the real ones, that's what I'm saying.
You don't post, if you're a real gang member, you don't post what you do on social media.
Very interesting.
So the fake ones get
Go
caught.
ahead,
Yeah, like the fake ones, they get caught out here by the real ones, you know?
Wow.
And it's also about influences too.
Talk about that a little bit. What is the influence?
Music is a big influence now. It influences me.
Okay.
But it ain't gonna influence me to do nothing dumb like that.
Talk more, because we got adults watching this. We got young people watching this. What do you mean it influences you? What happens in music that influences? Because music's supposed to be a universal language for peace, love, happiness,
it
joy.
used to just be about like stuff like that, like passion and all that. But now everybody just talks about guns, money, and like and stuff like that.
Okay. Destiny, you agree with this? That you know, is there an opportunity for us if we deal with the social media platform a little bit? And do you think young people know what's going on when they post stuff up on there, that it might turn violent?
I agree, but I also disagree because...
Talk about where you disagree.
I disagree because I think that school has a lot to do with it too. Because like all the different kids that go to school together and like, you know, they're all claiming something different and they're not even really doing it and they're all ready to fight each other because of that. And also like the extracurricular like sports and stuff, when kids don't have like the grades or like the right things that they need for sports and they can't do it, then they don't have nothing better to do.
It sounds like the young people who are wanting to associate with something, the wannabes are the ones who are the most concerning, or should be the most concerning to all of us.
Because they're trying so hard to be like something they see.
They see,
It's
an
an
image that they
influence.
see.
Just get
And where do they
yourself
get those
caught.
images?
Off the media.
From the
Like,
media.
You don't just see, like, yeah, you get it from your peoples, like your family, if they actually did it before. You'll see it from like your peers, your relatives, or something like that. If your people's been killed by gang members, violence and all that, like, you know, stuff like that, that'll really start something. But nowadays, the reason it's evolving is because of social media.
You get a chance to tell all of us adults what we can do to help. What would you tell us?
Honestly, that's what I've been thinking the whole time I've been here. I don't even know. Like,
You know?
not
Maria,
really.
thoughts?
I think a lot of us youth, it's hard because we don't want to listen to what you have to say. We don't really care, or we're stuck in what we're doing, that it's hard for us to listen, especially if you try and tell us, I've been there and I've done that, and that
doesn't work?
That right there don't help.
That don't work?
That makes you want to go and do it even more.
Okay. Destiny, you have thoughts on that? Anything we can do as adults to fix it?
I don't really know, because like you can say whatever, but it's not going to make somebody stop the way they think or the way that they feel inside.
Okay. Jeremiah, we're going to wave a magic wand. What would be the first step you would take to fix this gun violence challenge in Denver?
To fix it?
Yes.
Out here, everybody's already into their mindset to where they like, you know, they know what they're gonna do next to come up out here. And everybody's not on that get a job stuff no more. Like nobody really even cares about 9 to 5 no more, except for the parents, and that's what the parents try to tell them to do, and they don't like that, so they get mad, then they get kicked out, and they be out there on the streets and all that.
Are you trying to tell me there's no hope?
There's hope always.
So what's that hope? What does it look like?
Well, I mean, just keep them from hanging with the wrong people. That's first.
Pay attention to your kids.
Pay attention to your kids? How you feel about your
How
parents?
I say about it with me in my situation is if maybe my mom would have paid attention to me and my big sister more than what she did, instead of letting us go out whenever we wanted, hang out with whoever we wanted.
Structure.
Yeah, and especially like she said, schooling. You go to school with so many different type of people, and then you meet somebody that's just like you, grow up the same way you did, and it's all about gangs, and you get into it. And I think as a parent, you need to pay more attention to your child.
Okay, Maria says pay attention, structure, boundaries, set the rules. What do you think, Destiny?
I don't know, to just, pay attention. Make sure, like, you know what your kids are doing. You're not like that parent that, oh, just as long as he comes home, it's okay. Like, you know, like, pay attention to what they're doing and what they're going to do.
Okay. Jeremiah, you're itching to get in here, man. You got to give us something good before we roll today.
Honestly, I feel like they try to force it too much, you know? They try to, like, force the help. But when they should, like, really, like show love with their help or whatever.
Understand.
Yeah, because, like, my mom, she ain't ever understand what I was trying to do, so she always, like, you talking back and all that, and then she kicked me out and all that. So I had to learn to, like, respect her and not talk back so I could actually have a place to be instead of out here in these streets and, you know, doing
Don't you think that's important?
gun violence and all that. Of course.
Right.
Understanding,
Right.
yeah.
Understanding, right? You got a final word?
Yeah, and I also feel like pressure, like you can like ease the pressure off your kid, because like me, when I feel like my mom or my family wants a lot from me, it makes me want to just say whatever and do whatever I want. You know?
Learn to understand more, and like don't come at them all hard. Understand what they're going through and try and see how we feel and what we're doing, why we're doing what we're doing first off, because you're doing it for a reason.
Yeah. You're saying ask, engage, pay attention,
Yeah, and don't
Set
just
the
be
boundaries.
forceful.
and have some empathy, right? It's okay to say I understand.
A lot of parents feel like they can't talk to their children, though, because every time they do talk to them, they turn around and go do something else. So
Yeah.
they be like, I can't even trust you and all that. But, like, I don't know, it's like also with the person who's causing all them problems, like us. Like we shouldn't, you know, like rely on our parents to help us through all of this, you know. That's that pressure.
Yeah, well, we learned something today. Fortunately, we're out of time for further discussion, but I take away from this as an adult in the city, as a parent, that I need to pay attention. I need to set boundaries for my child. You know, we need to show we care, right? And that's what you're asking for. Conflict happens between adults a lot. I mean, with parents and kids, we get it. I've raised mine, I get it. It happens, but what you want more than anything is to know that you care and you're listening. You want you to know your parents are listening, right? And so I hope you listen to what these young people have said today. That's all the time we have for the rest of the story. But I want to thank these young people. I want to thank Destiny and Jeremiah and Maria for coming in today. And I hope you take away from what they've shared with us today. This was very raw. They were not prepared for this in terms of the questions I was going to ask them. But I think they gave us all some good food for thought. You guys have a great day, and thank you for joining us.